and welcome to another edition of Everyone Deserves a Home, the program that brings you closer to the work of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. I am Hadiza Bayro Aliyu, standing in for your regular anchor, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. Leadership plays a major role in shaping the future of housing delivery in Nigeria, and with the appointment of a new Minister of Housing and Urban Development, expectations are high for continuity, innovation, and stronger access to affordable homes. Following his Senate screening and confirmation, the new Minister, Engineer Muttaka Rabe Darma, has been visiting some of the nation's most strategic housing projects, such as the Military Estate and the renewed Hope City Housing Estate in Karsana, Abuja. In this episode, we take a closer look at the first inspection visit, what it means, why it matters, and the role of FMBN in supporting the project. Stay with us.
To improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced *219#. *219# is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial *219#. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like *219*3# to retrieve your NHF number, *219*4*1# to check your last 5 transactions, and *219*4*2# to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. *219#. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
Welcome back. The program starts with news making headlines. In our lineup, FMBN strengthens housing support for the Federal Fire Service through strategic collaboration, and FMBN kicks off its 2026 strategy retreat aimed at improving performance and service delivery. Details of these stories coming up shortly. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has continued to strengthen its collaboration with the Federal Fire Service, helping personnel access better housing across the country. This formed part of the discussions during the courtesy visit by the leadership of the Federal Fire Service to the bank's management in Abuja. Speaking during the meeting, the Managing Director of FMBN, Shehu Usman Osidi, highlighted the bank's ongoing interventions at the Federal Fire Service, which include 483 million naira approval under the Cooperative Housing Development Loan, with 241 million naira already disbursed for the housing construction in Cross River State. Provision of 228 million naira as home renovation loans to 257 officers nationwide, while 17 million was refunded to 43 retired personnel, showing support for officers both in service and after retirement.
We place a premium on providing safe, decent and affordable housing as a fundamental pillar of worker welfare. Our central objective is to broaden access to home ownership for Nigerian workers through innovative mortgage solutions and strategic partnerships. By leveraging the National Housing Fund scheme, we continue to deliver affordable housing opportunities with products tailored to meet the needs of low and medium income earners, particularly civil servants. Over the years, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has demonstrated its commitment to the welfare and well-being of officers of the Federal Fire Service through impactful housing interventions.
The Comptroller General of the Federal Fire Service, Olumode Samuel Adeyemi, commended FMBN for the interventions and also proposed stronger collaboration between both institutions, including the establishment of fire service posts within FMBN-funded estates to improve emergency response and strengthen safety measures.
We are here as fire officers to collaborate more with you in some areas, to open more doors whereby the two agencies can work hand in hand. Number one, from my research, there are some housing that are being funded mainly by federal mortgage banks. One thing fire service is all about is about response time. We want a situation whereby all these housing units can have a fire post. Then the Federal Fire Service will be able to deploy men at no cost to protect these investments.
Responding to the proposal, Osidi welcomed the idea and suggested the creation of a joint technical committee to work out the framework for implementation.
One area that the bank will be very happy and willing to partner with you. We will probably put in a small technical committee that will identify some of those estates that we believe, even in terms of the size and the number of households that are being housed in those locations, so that we can look at which ones we can immediately go into this arrangement, so that officers and men can be deployed to safeguard properties in those locations.
In a continued effort to strengthen its strategy and improve institutional performance, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has held its 2026 Strategy Project Management Office (SPMO) retreat. The retreat, themed Charting the Next Chapter FMBN Strategic Realignment, brought together key staff and members of the SPMO to review progress and set a clear direction for the bank's future. Speaking at the opening session on Monday, 4th May 2026, the Managing Director Shehu Usman Osidi, represented by the Executive Director of Finance and Corporate Services, Mr. Oladapo Odujukon, commended members of the SPMO committees for their dedication. He emphasized the importance of the retreat, urging participants to develop practical and impactful strategies that align with the needs of National Housing Fund contributors.
This retreat is designed to reset our strategic direction along clear timelines, realistic targets, well-defined pillars, and strong enablers. It is also expected to clearly articulate the bank's competitive edge in an evolving housing finance landscape.
In his welcome address, the Secretary of the Strategy and Project Management Office, Ahmed Mohammed Kaoji, outlined the key objectives of the retreat, noting that the session is focused on refining the bank's strategic direction and developing practical initiatives to drive performance and deliver measurable impact.
This retreat is an opportunity for us to prove that we can serve the housing needs of these people. The steering committee has set the tone. The technical committee is ready. Our speakers are here to stretch us. The executive management team has given us the mandate. Now it behoves on us in this hall to lay with a blueprint that is shorter in time but longer in impact.
As part of the retreat, industry experts were invited to provide insights into the future of mortgage financing in Nigeria. In a sideline interview, experts emphasized the need for innovation, adaptability, and strategic alignment in navigating the evolving housing finance landscape.
My presentation was just sharing with the SPMO the strategic imperatives that would help in taking and realigning FMBN within the next 5 to 10 years. And this was basically around the fact of understanding that there is an emerging young first-time homeowners, talking about the demographics of the youth in the country. It is also built around technology having a huge and immense role to play in the origination of mortgages. And then thirdly, this is around deepening funding for the FMBN, where access to capital markets is something that must be taken seriously.
First of all, the first thing they're doing that is right is they're coming back to sit down and say, we're at the end of one strategic cycle, we're about to start another one. What do we carry over? What do we need to do? How has the market changed? How has our internal capacity changed? How has policy changed? And then project into the future and say, okay, that's where we want to be 3 years, 5 years from now, which is your high definition destination. And that's the starting point. After that, everything else you do is designed to take you where you want to go.
You're still watching Everyone Deserves a Home. The Renewed Hope City Housing Estate in Karsana is one of the federal government's flagship housing projects aimed at expanding access to affordable homes for Nigerians. With a recent visit by the new Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the project has once again come into focus. In our building block segment, we take you to the site for a closer look. Stay with us.
Housing remains one of the most important needs of man. Yet, for many Nigerians, owning a decent and affordable home still feels out of reach. Bridging this gap remains a key priority for the federal government, especially under the Renewed Hope agenda, which places housing delivery at the center of national development. Following his Senate screening and confirmation, Engineer Muttaka Rabi Dharma, the new Minister of Housing and Urban Development, began a familiarization tour to some of the major housing projects, starting with the Bungalow City for military personnel, a project being developed by Brains and Hammers.
I came here to familiarize myself with the project because I'm new, like you know, I reported on Monday. That's the first thing, to know exactly. Of course, I've been briefed in the office, but that's not enough for me to say I know the project. That is the first one. The second one is to motivate the contractors to make sure that they are moved into action, taking actions to make sure that they have completed this thing. The third one is we want to tell Nigerians that, look, we have been given an assignment by the Mr. President, and Mr. President rely on us. We are the front soldiers to deliver this assignment.
The military housing project is designed with supporting infrastructure including road, water supply, schools and sporting facilities. With progress report from the project managers, the inspection was a commitment to project quality and timely delivery, as well as ensuring standard and sustainable housing development.
It's a big project and it's for the military. And I must tell you that from what I've seen so far, I'm impressed. But I'm not totally impressed. Why I'm not totally impressed is because a promise is a promise. You promise to deliver in 3 months, I'll keep on your track. I ask them to give me a report every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, I shall have a report. And I can visit this place and schedule without telling them that I am coming, based on their report, so that I see where they are and how they have arrived, where they promised to come, whether they are there or they are not, what are the constraints or the challenges they are facing, and then we can address those constraints and challenges and make sure we deliver.
At Karsana, the Renewed Hope City stands out as one of the flagship projects under the federal government housing initiative. The minister described the project as a strategic intervention aimed at addressing Nigeria's housing deficit, particularly for low and middle income earners.
As far as we are concerned, we are bridging that housing deficit gap. You know, here we have 2,744. Now we are saying the housing deficit in Nigeria is about 15 million. Some are saying it's even up to 20 million. So if you deliver this 2,744, it's a step to reduce that gap. And if you look around all the renewed housing projects in Nigeria, we are talking about 50,000 or more housing units for this country. If you are saying about 50 million Nigerians don't have houses, now this place only where I'm standing will house, on average, a family of 4 will take 1 house. On average, for those who don't have 2 wives and more. It means that more than 10,000 families will be accommodated. Yes, you understand. So if you deliver 50,000 houses, you multiply that by 4, you are talking about 200,000 families that will be accommodated probably before the end of this year, as the ministry had promised.
As the housing project moves closer to completion, the housing units have been subscribed by the off-takers and awaiting completion at the end of the year.
We have gone around, we have seen that we have about 55% completion, and some of the houses are even ready for purchasers to move in, but of course the services, the facilities are not yet ready, so they will have to wait until the end of the year as they promised. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that they have kept their promise of the initial contract. It is a private-public partnership program, and of course the ministry came into it with full force.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria reflects a broader commitment to making these housing accessible through structured work plan.
Well, as you can see, these projects are well advanced, and it is moving according to plan. When we started this project, in collaboration with the developers, there was a clear work plan, and so these projects are expected to be fully completed by the end of this year. So I believe that these timelines will be met with effective supervision from both the bank and the ministry.
Through its bankable off-taker guarantee, the bank has helped developers access funding to support both delivery and affordability to NHF contributors.
This project was started as a partnership between the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and a consortium of developers. And the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria was required to provide an off-takers guarantee that will enable the consultants access funding for the project. And so we decided also to finance some portion so that contributors to the NHF can enjoy cross-subsidy and live within the same vicinity with a project that is principally funded through private sector funding.
Beyond providing homes, the development is also driving economic impact. More than 15,000 skilled and unskilled workers have been engaged during the course of the project, from engineers and architects to artisans, suppliers and laborers, thereby making housing delivery not just a social investment but an economic one as well.
Welcome back. For many people, the journey to owning a home begins with a simple decision, which is to take advantage of the opportunities available through the National Housing Fund Scheme of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. In this segment, we meet one beneficiary whose story reflects the impact of that decision and how access to mortgage support changed the path to home ownership. Stay with us.
Well, that is working.
It's something fantastic. It's great.
It's very easy to access. It's flexible.
So mortgage is really low.
I call myself a landlord. I'm a happy homeowner. It's a dream come true. On the click of a button, you can access our facilities.
Meet Mercy Ayodele, an entrepreneur whose family now owns a 3-bedroom bungalow in Kuje, Abuja. For her, the journey to home ownership wasn't straightforward. At one point, the family experienced a setback after falling victim to a housing scam. Determined not to remain in that situation, they began exploring better options, and that search led them to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria through her husband's workplace.
My husband and I were trying to relocate from Lagos to Abuja, and we tried to get a house on our own instead of coming to rent an apartment here, because owning a house is much better. So we started the quest of owning our own home, and along the line, because as at then we're still based in Lagos and we're not frequent in Abuja, just coming and going, and then we really live here. We tried to get a house on our own and we're duped. My husband met with through the office, met with the owner of this place, that is the Abiskuli Estate, and that is how we subscribe into it.
Through the support of the bank, what once felt uncertain gradually became possible.
I feel very happy. My husband and I were happy to be a house owner because it's not popular, but when we get to know about this place and we subscribe to it, and it wasn't stressful at all. It was very easy for us, and in no time we became a house owner.
Today, she speaks with pride about owning a home and the sense of stability it has brought to her family.
The feeling is unexplainable. The joy is, I don't know, I can't express it, how happy my family and I were when the key was given to us, because owning a house here is, and then being is not easy, and then being a civil servant, how you be able to gather all that money to buy the land and then start your building and completing is not an easy one. But we're happy that we're able to meet up being a house owner through the help of the Federal Mortgage Bank.
She urged other Nigerians to take advantage of the National Housing Fund scheme, describing it as a reliable path to home ownership.
My advice to Nigerians out there is that this program is encouraging for everybody to be a house owner, and it is real and it is flexible. You don't need to start banking or saving or break your saving or break the bank to own a house. It is very flexible, and I'd advise all Nigerians to put in.
Apart from workers' contribution, where else does the FMBN get funds to finance its activities?
There are other contributions that are making hay into the bank, and that is our capital base, even small as it is, because some other prominent stakeholders have not paid, but that's a contribution towards our business. Any commercial bank, they're supposed to contribute 10% annual, 10% of their gross earning to the bank so that we can make houses affordable to the citizenry. Similarly, insurance companies, they are supposed to contribute 40% of their life cover or income to this Federal Mortgage Bank NHF loan, so that we augment all these things. Again, also the law has given us the privy to borrow funds at a very cheap, sustainable and affordable level, up to the international, that means outside the shores of Nigeria, that we can bring and use for the production of affordable houses and also affordable mortgages.
That's all for this week on Everyone Deserves a Home. For more information on FMBN's products and services, visit any branch nationwide or log on to www.fmbn.gov.ng and ibank.gov.ng to register. Join us again next week for more updates and inspiring stories on affordable home ownership. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Hadiza Bayero Aliyu.